Really?
No, man.
Yeah, makes sense. Alrighty, everybody, and welcome to another video. Like I said in the update video that I posted on New Year's Day, we are going to be doing some reactions to the death battles after, the day that they come out. I'm gonna react to them. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to see this one. This is Ichigo versus Yusuke. I didn't get to see it when it aired live because I was at work, but now that I'm home, I've got the chance to see it, so let's see how this one will go. If you're wondering where I stand in terms of this fight, I'm thinking it's gonna be Ichigo. I feel like he's got too many, BS things, and he's too strong for Yusuke. I'm also kind of rooting for Ichigo, because I'm kind of a fan of Bleach, I watched it when I was younger. Never really watched YuYu Hakusho, but, I think this is a great matchup idea. I'm very interested. I was told by my buddy Phil, who you guys know, I was told he liked this one, so I have hope for this one. I probably should have written some kind of thing to be prepared for it. Alright, so let's get to the watching. Go.
Ichigo Kurosaki versus Yusuke Urameshi.
The substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective of YuYu Hakusho. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and
fun to
skills to
look
find
at.
out who would win a death
Swordsman
battle.
versus gun. But with souls.
Tell me, Boomstick, what happens when we die?
Endless nothingness? Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Our souls are
That's
ferried by
a very
Shinigami,
good question,
gods
and
of death,
I'm
in an
very
eternal cycle
concerned
of
about
death
the answer
and
to that.
rebirth.
That was my second guess.
And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead, the Soul Society.
Their first win.
Works great till it doesn't.
Well, it still feels
Enter
weird that they have
Ichigo Kurosaki,
three
whose
appearances,
tragic
but only
anime backstory
two
came
of
way
them
too
are
early when his mom was killed by a hollow. Reason number one why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist.
Left
Yeah.
with his grief, young
Yeah.
Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's
Unless
guilt.
you're Ash.
So he lashed
But,
out
we
the
saw what
only way
happened to
he
him.
knew how, beating people up.
But this wound began to heal when he found his calling, upon meeting a Shinigami named Rukia. To stop a
Rukia's
powerful
cool.
hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called
And he
Reishi.
also has
He
a
can wield vast amounts of
pet
spiritual
bear that's
energy
a
called
teddy bear
Ryoku,
that's
and
alive
exert it
that
defensively
can
in the form of
basically
spiritual pressure
take on his
or
body's
Ryatsu.
form, so that way
Okay,
they
that's a
don't
lot of
see
big words, but all it
unconscious
really
body.
means is he's a super-powered ghost with an epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong, it can stun-lock foes, crushing them under his own
Cool.
power, even fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of invisible
I know the
footholds in the
poll
air.
asked
Paired with
whether you'd
speed
rather have
boosting skills like Shunpo,
on
he
the
can virtually fly.
official
Say
server
goodbye
they
to the
had
kid
it.
who beat
Would
up
you rather have
wolves
his
for their lunch
Impacto
money.
or the
And hello to
spirit
the
gun?
town's new superhero.
kinda would
with
like
fellow
the spirit gun, but I'm
Ghostbusters
okay
or
with
Hime, Chad, and Uri.
Chad is cool.
Plus Rukia.
Chad is
It
cool,
was the
as is
Shinigami's
Uru.
job to tear hollows
When I
a
was
new
younger, Uru
hole.
was my
While
favorite character, but I
balancing
just love
responsibilities
Arcus.
at school, of course.
But Chad is just
GPA comes first,
badass.
and maybe a round or two of tech.
But it wouldn't be possible without his Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto. It's basically a superpowered spirit
Admittedly, I was
that's
not that
physically a
great in
sword.
high school, so,
Ghost sword.
Though strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct spirits, both named Zangetsu,
Of
which
course
isn't
they are.
confusing at all.
Just call him Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu. Anyway, the double ghost sword gives Ichigo lots of
yes,
new moves,
Old Man
including his
Zangetsu,
trademark
or
attack,
Yawa.
the sword beam to end all sword beams, Getsuga Tensho!
Getsuga Tensho is incredibly powerful, and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can
Of
fire it
course
as a
he did.
wave, detonate
It's
it
his
mid-attack,
primary
act as a
attack.
barrier,
Every
and combine
anime
two at
protagonist
once
has a
into the
primary
even
attack. Got
stronger
developed like
Getsuga
17
Jujisho.
To
variations
cut
of
even
it.
the biggest hollows down to size.
Look at how many
Ichigo
Rasengan
was
Naruto has, or how many
ridiculously strong,
versions of
even
the
for grade
Kamehameha.
one.
He can make
that goes
giant
into.
shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower-than-light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, YuYu moved so fast that he left his own shadow behind.
But as Ichigo became more involved with the Soul Society, he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
This Byakuya guy's so fast, Ichigo can't even see him. Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music!
Until now, Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master.
Bankai.
In Bankai, his speed skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole frickin' Soul Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift is his potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries. He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Catboy Grimmjow. He was getting clamped, but as soon as he
I brought up
Grimmjow
when I was talking about
you mean Grimmjow, right?
Yeah, but even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't
Phil's
match
seen
Big Bad
YuYu
Aizen
Hakusho,
with
so
just
he's
a
very
finger.
more
Aizen
familiar
stuffed
with it.
Ichigo's Bankai and his theme song, Rude.
Ichigo needed to tap into his unexplained hollow power. Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
Still, Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't want that.
Hollowification exceeds even Bankai, and was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Hueco Mundo, the world of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
But with help from his secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains with sheer aura, and flexed so hard he smashed out of the black coffin, which crushes space like a mini black hole.
And yet, it still wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen at the cost of all his power.
He might have saved everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo never truly realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to get it back.
And he did, thanks to a surprise assist from Rukia. Boom! Shinigami again!
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final endgame boss, Yhwach,
who planned to end everything.
Oh, that's how you pronounce that?
Other Shinigami tried their best.
That's how you pronounce. Okay.
Was special enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence, his 2 Zanpakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect union to break Yhwach's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself, fully unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and 2 new Zanpakuto.
True Shikai! If you thought Ichigo was strong before, oh boy, he's the strongest Shinigami alive.
Because of course he is.
Undead? Yeah.
Stronger than Kenpachi, who could split
he's
the
an anime
Dangai in half.
protagonist.
Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms. And strong enough to match Yhwach, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, Yhwach could nuke all 3 realms.
Pretty much
the human world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo, plus the Dangai and Garganta in between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in. Hell, just the Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow of souls. Yhwach was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
But Ichigo still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new half-hollow form and merging his Getsuga Tencho with a mighty hollow attack, the Gran Ray Sero.
Making a giant crescent slash that rips through space itself.
All that power culminating in his true Bankai.
Spoilers
power
for anybody
so
watching
great,
Bleach
even
right now.
Yhwach was scared of it.
Joke's on you! Ichigo didn't even need it! You're done!
Ichigo was finally content. And 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his fears, and walk onward. Most teenagers have no idea what they want to do with their life.
And
However,
now we go
that
to
was
something
hardly a
even
problem
older.
for
Dear
juvenile
God,
delinquent Yusuke
90s
Urameshi, because he
anime
only
can
ever wanted to do
Whew.
one thing.
Throw hands! It don't matter
Heck
who the
yeah.
ups are, be they women, old folk, or babies.
I have
Yusuke
I
lives the
have
fight.
some
It's what gave
experience
life
with
meaning.
Yu Yu
Who cares
Hakusho
about
outside of
stupid
just,
things like
you know,
friends and
Sasuke
family?
versus
Which is
Hiei
why
fight.
it was so surprising when
Uh,
one day he
I
threw
remember
himself in front of a
an
speeding
old friend
car
of mine
to
actually
save a
had
child, bringing that reckless
Hakusho
life
video
to a
game,
screeching
but I
halt.
barely remember anything about it, so.
Truck-kun claims another victim.
But this is chapter 1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly, though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul.
Hi, Grim.
It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was
I
Botan,
miss
whose
Billy and
job was
Mandy.
to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such
yes,
an
the
asshole that
true
the underworld
fear of
didn't
hell.
see his selfless death.
Bureaucracy.
It didn't have any space prepared for
My
him.
God.
Imagine being such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with its pants down.
So the underworld
I'd be
surrogate king,
confused
Koema,
too. This was
offered
not
Yusuke an
expected by
alternative.
any
He could
means.
return to life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do in that situation, then told Satan Jr. to stuff it. I mean, he was never really good for anything, and no one was gonna miss him. So
I
what's
also
the
know
point of
some
coming
of the
back to
stuff
life?
thanks to,
Not like his mom would be sad,
like,
or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken,
overly
or even
sarcastic
his rival
predictions sometimes bring
Kuwabara
you
would
to
shed
Hakusho.
manly tears. Oh man.
At the sight of loved ones who cared far
the
more
thing
than
with
he
Yu
ever
Yu
expected,
Hakusho,
Yusuke had a
or
change of heart and accepted Koenma's
different
offer,
forms of media in
returning to
general.
life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass-kicking ability.
When,
In his
something
quest
gets
to
this
beat
popular,
the
people are gonna
dog
talk
shit
about
out of
it a lot.
demonkind, Yusuke
Call that
learned to
pop culture
harness
osmosis.
Reiki, or spirit energy. He's ridiculously strong, fast,
Boom.
and durable. Heals
Literal
from wounds
finger
quickly
guns.
and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early on, Yusuke could parry Suzaku's lightning arrows, which are formed from real lightning called down from the sky. And with the help of legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to smithereens.
Cute.
My favorite shonen move ever, the Spirit Gun. At first,
Literally,
Yusuke had a
finger
limited
gun.
number of shots, but eventually he turned it into his personal WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger
Yeah,
blasting
makes
around as much as he wants.
The spirit gun is more versatile than it appears. Yusuke can bounce it off surfaces for sneak attacks, propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up
Yeah,
for a
makes
spirit
sense.
shotgun, a mighty AoE blast, or a spirit punch where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clobbers the hell out of you. And the spirit wave,
Wow, look
a
what he did to this
Kamehameha
town
from
villain.
before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Yusuke may
thought
be a
this was the
punk, but
90s.
he's deceptively
Might have been
skilled
80s.
and cunning in battle.
He's not afraid to fight dirty, throwing his shoes, using sleight of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart. And his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Kabano, who said
Honor.
they've mastered all
Who needs
forms
honor
of
when you can
martial
just
combat.
say
But
no?
his best secret is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies. Even if it
Because
means literally
anime.
burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
E and D class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best. C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A and S? Well, hold on to your ass. We're talking end of the world.
As Yusuke forged bonds with new
Especially
allies,
S.
like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize
Oh
weakened
yeah,
humans
that
and
guy
crush their
with the
souls with
gigantic
aura.
freaking
But
muscles.
Yusuke
How the
needed to
hell did he
survive
get
and
there?
Protect his loved ones. So he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai.
Our sun has an average luminosity of
How?
380 septillion watts, or
How?
per second. Small stars like red
I'm
dwarfs
very
output about
confused and also
1/10,000 of that.
concerned.
So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Enough
Cool.
to send Toguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past spirit detective gone bad, and a
Yeah,
great
this
measuring
thing's
stick
like
for what top-tier
multiple
demons are capable
personalities,
of.
and that's his
Sensui
power.
was so yoked he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing. He compared destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai, Yusuke
Yeah.
could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted. And even A-class threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima guy is strong as balls. In the past, he fought the Netherworld King Yakumo, who could eradicate
Cool
the
skull
entire
armor.
human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a demon himself.
Literally.
Huh?
Yusuke is the descendant
What?
of an ancient and incredibly powerful being, one of the strongest in existence, Ryzen, the Demon King.
With his
Ah.
Mizoku mark, Yusuke can channel
what?
Ryzen's spirit
Oh,
for a
anime,
huge
right.
power boost.
That kind of
The
hair is
massive thirst for
kinda
murder
just
boost.
standard
This was his
for anime,
first taste of a
especially
dangerous
early
new
anime.
type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used
Either
by
it's
demons.
really
Like
spiky
normal
or
Reiki, it can be
randomly
amplified by
colored,
intense
or
emotions.
both.
Unlike normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral
Oh.
animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a demon gun. It's the same
Neat.
thing, but red. Oh, and it's strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's
So basically
power firmly
taking
in
some
S
lessons
class.
from
And
Godzilla.
making him
Cool.
a prime
Good to know.
candidate to rule the demon world. But as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the
God.
Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle, he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mozoku form
Yes,
separate
that,
from Ryzen's influence.
And
That
a brand
infamous attack
spanking
that
new
they
form
do
of power. Kinda
they
like
use with
Sensui's
Kurosaki
secret
and
energy,
CA,
but
that
even better.
kinda got
it's
controversial.
so unprecedented, it doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
Strong enough to clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King himself to his absolute limits.
But then, Yusuke lost. It's
What?
not all bad, though. Even
Huh.
if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those
It's a
connections
battle
that he
anime?
found his
Fuck no,
happy
it's a
ending.
But I
friendship
wouldn't piss him
anime!
off if you can avoid it. Get him in the
I mean,
right
most
mood,
animes
or
are
threaten the
friendship
human
animes.
world, and the spirit detective
Power of
will
friendship
beat
is
your
The
stupid
secret to
ass.
all anime, I guess.
Long has its return been foretold, but now, finally, it is reborn.
The original Death Battle shirt that once dominated the world. Hell yeah, there's no better way to wear a blood spatter on your chest.
We've restored the original shirt with even better materials, and it's available now on deathbattle.gg. That's our website that's also kind of like a Patreon.
There's a bunch of other merch there, like this awesome Mecha Goose hoodie. Just don't let the gooses get it.
Website members can also see the entire Death Battle archive, including episodes that were banned from YouTube.
And even more behind the scenes goodies. Like, did you know our research team wrote up a massive blog all about the science of Ash versus Yugi? Wait, I lied. They wrote up two.
Click the link below to support the show, look behind the
All right.
scenes, and get cool merch at
Here we go.
deathbattle.gg.
Fight time.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've
yeah, they
run the
were
data
both
through
from
all
Jump Force,
possibilities.
right.
It's
they're
time
both
for
from,
a
the
death
Totsubaki
battle.
The Shonen Jump. All right, here we go.
That's a demon.
That's hollow.
No doubt about it.
Go going on to the aggressive form here.
Spirit gun. Getsuga.
Okay, interesting use of, I guess, just rightified and drawn elements. Yeah, Ichigo's more swordsman than, brawler. Really?
No, man.
Yeah, makes sense. Ah, shit. Good work.
Chump change. Reckless idiot! What a baby! Little demon energy got you scared.
Nah. Great reaction there. Great. Good work, Ichigo.
Getsuga! Yujisho! Two at once? Damn, why didn't I think of that?
I don't know, Yusuke. I don't know.
Give in to me, Yusuke. Let's devour him together.
Hell no!
Oh.
This is my fight, jackass! You just hold me back!
Yeah. Gotta get into the alternate forms. So Yusuke transforms first.
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner? Let's do it, like old times.
On! Cut!
Here we go.
That's
Yeah,
the best you can do? I
got
can go
good
even
animation.
faster if you'd like. Hell yeah! Bring it on, asshole! I'll kill you even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! You better do the same!
Well, that's what you want.
Screw that!
Gonna recreate that. Okay. Cut right through it. Cool.
Give me a freaking break.
See you on the other side.
And Ichigo wins.
You, think the afterlife offers frequent flyer miles?
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters, starting with their abilities.
Yusuke could see Ichigo no problem, and resist auras like Togoro's that are similar to Reiatsu, so
Yeah.
Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of Dongai training.
And all those swords! He just had way more abilities to play with.
Likewise, speed
sense.
was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on, and obviously got much faster over time.
Does Yusuke
Looking at
have
his blast from
anything?
his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's
Yeah,
gotten faster
makes
too.
sense.
He couldn't even see Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups
Speed
since
has always
then.
kind
The
of been
Soul King
Ichigo's
Shockwave,
thing.
for example, expanded across the realms at
Actually a big
thousands
thing
of times light speed,
Bleach
and
more
Ichigo
months
reacted
than
to
the
attacks from Soul King Yuhabak that utilized the same
That's how he
power.
typically
so,
wins, is
Ichigo
outspeeding his
takes
opponents
speed.
and
But Yusuke's
understanding
fought
their
plenty of
abilities.
foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is kind of both their things. Ichigo has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring out new
So he's been
weapons and
around for
styles.
long.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt,
then
mixing
again-
cleverness with exceptional hand.
Yeah, they're both
He's
can
good
kinda
enough
do
to match
that.
Kabano, who mastered every martial art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand,
So
but
he's
it's not his
Batman,
go-to
okay.
in the same way.
So both had their strong suits, with advantages on each side. It's fair to call this one a draw.
Leaving only
Yeah.
the biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could
Yeah,
definitely
no.
destroy the planet. Examining his
Planet
sky-splitting clash
versus
with Yomi and
multiple
measuring its
planets.
scale, that's about 4 quadrillion
If not
megatons of
universe.
TNT, which is crazy.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo, tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yuhabak, who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
To be fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time. Pretty close to Yuhabak's threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Yeah,
Fortunately for Ichigo, it's not.
Like,
Yhubak was also
4
going to
and a
destroy
half.
the Garganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's planet-sized world.
How?
Plus,
I don't
Ichigo
know,
matched
but
Yhubak
yeah.
and True Shikai, without his additional boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way. But the way we see it, even being generous with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big, giving Ichigo the final edge. Sorry if
So does
things
this
got
technically count as the first
Urameshi,
time
but that's just
the
how
losing person
goes.
didn't have
The winner
any
is
advantages
Ichigo Kurosaki.
since they did that, like,
Next
multiple
time
categories
on
thing?
Death
I don't know.
Battle.
But, hey, Ichigo won. Nice job for Bleach. What the heck do we have? Oh, Metal Sonic again. And Perfect Cell.
Subscribe and join
That's
as a
gonna
member
be
to see
interesting.
more Death Battle.
That's gonna
Thanks
be
for
fun.
watching.
I'm excited.
Death Battle
for
is back, and so is our new tabletop gaming channel, Nightly Brew. We've got everything on there from Uno to Dungeons & Dragons, and a very special all-new Blood on the Clock Tower airing right now. So, come join us at the Nightly Brew. Click the thing, check us out.
Come on, computer.
Thanks.
Oh. Yeah, that went about how I expected that. Initial thoughts? Yeah, it was a pretty good episode. Might be one of the better premieres they've had in a while, really. Trying to think back to some of the other season premieres they've had. If we really count, if we count, Kratos vs. Asura as part of the last season, since it's a weird little thing. I think this might be, in my personal opinion, the best premiere they've had, I think, since season 2 or 3, actually. This was really freaking fun. I loved this. But that's initial thoughts. How that's going to change by the time we get to the end of the year and through the entirety of the season, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to the journey with you guys. So, hope you all stick around.